Greetings to you all, fellow Guyanese. To those of your sins, I bid you shalom. If you can hear me clearly, please indicate. If you can see me clearly, please indicate. I've been having some issues with my internet all day, so I don't know what quality of stream you're going to have. Nonetheless, I was supposed to be before you speaking to you about our experience in the court today, or my experience as what I consider to be one who's not in the legal fraternity, not in the bar. As a Guyanese, what I heard was horrifying. Nonetheless, I think it's important for me to deal with this. You hear me clearly? If you don't mind, please share this broadcast and tag Irfan Ali, who appointed Clifton Hicken and who sees in Hicken an exceptional commissioner. Irfan Ali, who sees in Clifton Hicken the qualities, whatever they are, the characteristics that lend themselves to Hicken being considered the only option to be leading the Ghana police force at this time. I am in pain. I am enraged. I'm hurt. I cannot honestly express myself the way I want to, because I know what will happen if I do. And I always tell you all this. When it comes to children in this country, and it comes to protection of women in my country, I become a different animal. And I keep seeing over and over that the PPP, you all have no intention. Days before election, and we have yet another report about which I shall speak. We have a crisis on our hand. And I said it at rally or meeting after meeting. We'll stop after we'll stop. When I speak to Guyanese in person, I speak to you online, I say to you all that we have an election of survival on our hand. This is not about necessarily policy. Can you the ultimate policy in these elections is, are we going to survive? That's what it's come down to. I was in court today, and when I got out, when recess, when I got back, I heard a message was sent to me about a mother in Charlotte Street, a young lady. Herself and husband would have been separated, estranged, they're in divorce court, whatever it is. But I heard a man shot this woman, shot his son, and then killed himself. Immediately, I remember the number of times I've posted, go on my page, you'll see it. But I keep telling Barra Jagdi, because I talk to you all the time. What are the chances that under the PPP, this current clan of criminals that y'all are, what are the chances under y'all, the most gun licenses have been issued in 5 years? The most. It outnumbers all 50 plus years of licensing being issued. I want Guyanese to hear me. In the last 5 years, and let Robson Ben, he doesn't talk. Fireman Ben doesn't speak anymore. He's been silenced for some reason. But you come and tell us, Robson Ben, why are so many young men and others in this country being given firearm licenses? Is there and more so, why did it have to be affiliated more often than not with the PPP? Why? And I've posted this, I'll repeat it here. I believe that the purpose of which those licenses have been issued is not being fulfilled. The purpose is not being recognized or realized. Because I'm sure they didn't give you a license to shoot your woman, or to shoot somebody who got you mad on the road. Like businessman Linda, they didn't give you a license to shoot your son, to shoot your cousin. I know that. Why are they issuing so many gun licenses to Guyanese? What is the plan behind it? I mean, I know it, but I'm just asking you to tell me it. I honestly, I came into my vehicle, was about to speak to you, or I wanted to talk. I said when I leave the court, I'm going to have to do a broadcast to speak to this, to what happened in court. But I need to hit the pause button for a second and address this situation here. How many more women must be murdered in this country before Clifton Hicken is dealt with? And here's the problem that I have with Hicken. How could this girl's brother, I think it would have been, tell the public that for 3 months, this is what I want Infante Miba Hicken, for 3 months, the police are investigating a matter where this same fella discharged a firearm. Now, hold on, Hicken and Blanham. You let me to understand this. How could a man 3 months ago discharge a weapon and the police are investigating? They discharge it again. And this same person is not in custody. This said individual. Now you're going to need to tell me. I know what you tell me. You tell me the firearm is not licensed. So I want you to tell us as Guyanese, how could this person, because I know what you'd say, how could this one man have so much access to weapons? Because I would like to think that the first instant of him discharging a firearm in a threatening manner would require him losing his license. I would like to think so. Let's not forget that the same McKilridge critic is in before the court for hitting somebody or whatever it is, and he has a gun in his waist. I want to talk to you all today. And it is on video, it is before the world, for the world to see according to the PVP. Because the world must only see elections with y'all. The world mustn't see everything else. It's before the court. And it's on video where critic Michael Rodriguez, the police was saying, if you're involved in an altercation and a weapon was drawn, I have to confiscate your weapon. Crippet tell police, no, take your hand off my gun. No, you can't do that. This boy, this Jack the White, show all of us that he could be engaged or involved in an altercation, probably where a weapon would have been drawn, and the police sergeant couldn't take his weapon. Now we have a situation where a man 3 months ago is set to have discharged a firearm, meaning he fired it. That person, the police would have been said to be investigating. So this 3-month-long investigation has landed us with a mother on the road, shot in her head. When I saw the video of this young lady running out of a yard, begging him, and this man would shoot this woman in cold blood. Let's not forget that one who said that his woman pulled a knife on him, she raised a weapon and he shot her 12 times. And then stood in the house, not run to her aid, not try to do something to revive her, got on the phone to call somebody. So you shot and killed somebody who's supposed to be the mother of your child, and your instant reaction was not to rush over and say, my God, what did I do? No, it was to stand and call somebody on the phone, probably to say what you did. And the family couldn't have access to outside way either. There is a problem in this nation. And the problem in this nation, I told you guys, I've warned you. Remember criticism of false prophet, right? Remember your friends, I'm a false prophet? I warned you all. And I'm speaking from no political primacy candidate. No, I'm saying to you as one who's an apostle of the Lord Yeshua. And I warned you and I will continue to warn you all. Woe unto you who call good evil and evil good. There has never been ever a time where so many people could look at one of the most evil regimes in our nation and say you're good. When Irfan Ali would have stood to say that Adriana sat before the nation, to say that Adriana was in the pool for 20 hours and nobody would have seen her, you all today said this man is good. This fellow is good. He's good to lead us. Give him a second term. Oh, he's good. Woe unto you who call good evil and evil good. Your nation, the well-being of your nation is threatened whenever citizens uphold wickedness, be it by silence or association. Why must men believe that it is normal, it is okay for when you get enraged, you could launch a deadly attack against the mother of your child? Then he went a 10-year-old child, imagine a 10-year-old boy. A 10-year-old boy would have to live with the thought and the memory, the imagery of a father walking up to him and pointing a weapon and shooting him in his belly. Do you all understand, Hicken, the pain that child would feel? As a should he survive it because he's critical? But because I saw, and if you know anything about medicine, what I saw on the ground with that child doesn't look good. But do you know, Clifton Hicken, what it would be like for a child to have been shot by his own father? And he has to live with that? What could be the reason? Now, if you say to me, it's a fit of rage, you just got by and shot this lady, that's a legal terminology and it can be argued in the court of law. What bothers me is the fact that somebody said that 3 months ago, this fella discharged a firearm. So what are we doing? But you see, when the nation is I tell you all this, when you see people could look at an administration, at what you call the government, and see that, hey, man, they could do whatever they want to get off with it. And when a man could discharge a firearm, police would come to him and then he'd give the police some money, whatever. So they say, hey man, there's no big deal. Here's $40,000, here's $100,000. Don't worry with you, man. They collect the $100,000 or $500,000, they walk away. If he's a rich man, he gives them a good enough small piece, they walk away. And so the culture in Ghana now is that you could shoot people, you could do what you want, and you pay some, well, Jagdi will say it's a rogue police, you pay some rogue policeman and you're good to go. That's the culture. That's the new culture under this criminal clan, where once you have money, you do what you want. I am telling you, our police officers, remember when Hanuman stood at Ashwin's building and tell Irfan, he hoped that when he gets in, he would remember those two police officers and fire them for doing what is right? Well, I'm telling you all. I'm telling you. Should Forward Ghana movement be made to govern this country, the likes of y'all will go to jail. Because you have to explain very carefully why you would have a man or know somebody is a threat to his family. He discharged a firearm. I think in one case he hit the girl's, somebody's sister car, one lady's, in the girl's sister car or something like that. You need to tell us why that person still has the opportunity to go and access a firearm. Or did he even lose the license he had? Is he a licensed firearm holder? You'll have to answer that question today. And if you say no, he's not, then you need to tell us how he had access to so many firearms so often. Guyanese, I have said this and I'll say it again. The confidence in the Guyana police force has been shattered. And it came from the actions or the inaction of the head of that force. When you have got a senior officer being sanctioned by the US to being involved in cocaine trafficking and cocaine smuggling, it tells you everything you need to know about the Guyana police force. When the USA has to tell us, hey, y'all got a cocaine deal in the police force, and Hicken doesn't know that, and nobody has a clue. And when the US tells you, they say he's on admin leave, and the crime chief can't talk. So if they tell you that I'm smuggling cocaine, Blanham could get people to arrest me, Kanu comes kick down my door, do all kinds of stuff to me, and then I'm dragged to the court, London make the news. But if a senior ranking police official could be involved according to US in cocaine smuggling, he gets paid to stay home. And nobody must comment on him. And y'all don't see an issue with the police force? If those who are supposed to be upholding or protecting us in reference to law, you give them privileges when you break it, what will the man in the street think? This action, these behaviors, we have to put a stop to it, and it would not end with a finale. It cannot end with a finale. Because without realizing, some of y'all don't recognize, that for the first time in our nation's history, the country had 5 years ago on the ballot the choice of a man who had 19 fraud charges, and the court said, you, based on your behavior and based on the evidence we have, you're supposed to stand trial. And people went and voted him out of trouble. This has never happened. It has never happened whereby Guyanese had to reduce themselves to choosing, because they love Chedi Jagan, you choose to vote for a man with 19 fraud charges. And when you show the nation that you could elect potential criminals who the court says states is worthy of standing trial, it tells me that our nation doesn't care about morality any longer. So what matters to many of you is, what do I gain from my association? Not what must I stand for in my nation. It's not about what do I gain from my association. I can gain a gun license. That's also my reasoning. I could just pass a $1.5 million and I get a gun license. That's the talk on the street now. That you could buy, you pay, and the money is divided where it has to be divided, and you get a gun license. Neville, I'll block you today because you don't call my page and be an idiot. There's sometimes I tolerate you and you don't have a limit. So you're blocked. I don't tolerate stupidity today. Not this afternoon. Can this nation continue down this path of watching our women and now a child be shot by a man who the police have said, or a relative has said, the police are investigating his behavior? So when you take a gun and shoot and discharge it in public, what we have to investigate? What is there for us to investigate? I call your name, I talk to them, block you. So Lisa Prasad said, why aren't you talking about being presidential hopeful? Azudin Mohammed. His crimes seem to be okay with you. You're yet another idiot. And because you have to be a male troll with the name Lisa. Because it cannot be that a female is hearing me speaking to the fact that a woman has been shot in her head, murdered in cold blood on the road. Her son had been shot in his belly, or wherever it is. He's been shot by his father. The father then shot himself in the head. And Lisa is asking about Azudin Mohammed's crime. You cannot be a woman. You have to be a man who carries a female name just so people know who you are. What I'll allow you to link on my page to answer is whether you ever saw me and Irfan to be brothers, or Barrett ever call me Prince. That's what you need to answer. Because you're a PPP troll and you're paid to be an idiot. So I want you to tell me today, when have you ever seen me declare that Irfan and I are brothers? That's what you need to answer. Who did Azrin Mohammed say is his brother? Me? Who protected Irfan in 2020? Me? Who financed the PPP's campaign? Me? So you are going to address the Freedom House. Don't come over here with it. You need to ask yourself, why would Irfan Ali have a brother who's a criminal since you want to have Azrin crimes? If you want to say Azrin committed crimes, you need to tell me, why would the president have a brother who's a criminal? That's what you need to answer. Based on your reasoning, by the way, I ain't saying Azrin a criminal. I'm just asking a question. If you say that I should speak to Azrin crimes, you need to tell me, why would Irfan, who's paid to be president, living in State House, have a criminal visiting him? That's what you need to tell me. Now, you see, if brothers, fathers, uncles, and relatives of these females who are abused by y'all men, you see, if we decide, look, Lisa, okay, then 60 punishment. No, come back here. It doesn't block you yet. Get back here, you idiot. Now you can't answer me. Now you want me to continue the content of my show? You see, if men decide to take the law into our hands and deal with all the other men who feel he could just harass and terrorize our female relatives, you ain't gonna like it, you know. You're not gonna like it, and I keep telling you, police force this, I keep telling Hicken this. You should not force us to protect our women. And when we protect them, we become criminals. You all decide how this is gonna go. Because if you decide to weapon around my sister and threaten her behavior, and threaten her, Doc, if I know that 2 months down the road you still shouldn't kill her, I ain't going to tell any police. I keep telling you all that because you're provoking me now. Don't tell me that I must act in accordance with the law. I must be peaceful and calm, report to the police. When I report to the police, 3 months pass and the threat still free to shoot my sister. Free to kill my mother. Free to injure somebody. And I can't act? So what do you want me to do as a man? You have an administration where the supporters and the mouthpiece, O.C. Rogers are calling them on this broadcast. You work for us, if you don't know that, because you paid our money. At the U.S. consulate. This boy works at the U.S. consulate as some event coordinator. O.C. Rogers, who was sitting in studio with Critic, is working in the U.S. at our embassy, our consulate, being paid to be this events coordinator. It's just a way to create job for you to make money. And you sat in the studio. And when Michael Rodriguez, who's called Critic, slapped Brian Max, you commenting, you giving commentary. Just one slap, ladies and gentlemen. Just one slap. People would have to come to the consulate in the US and interact with you all. Barrett has chosen the most sickening, gutter rat-like people because he can't find people of class. Barrett Jagdeo has never produced a statement. He has never produced a statesman. Name one. Barrett Jagdeo and Irfan Ali, Donald Ramatar, none of y'all would have ever produced statesmen. I need to tell Guyana why. Burnham produced many. Burnham produced Sashrita Tramphal, Rashid Jackson. Statesmen. You name one that Barrett ever produced. Barrett always attracts criminals around him. Bharat produced Dharmlal. Bharat statesman is Dharmlal. And critic. That's Bharat statesman. You cannot, don't hate me all you want, I don't care. Let's address the fact. On the Burnham, this never used to happen. On the Hoyt, it never used to happen. On the Cherry, hell no. So what, how y'all become like this? How did y'all suddenly get like this? Where the fathers of a nation never had this behavior? I'll tell you why. It's because you people have chosen somebody or group of people who you know are criminals. But just because they give you a bread, they give you a chance, they give you a gun license, they do everything possible. You say, hey, we could roll with this boy because after all, you know, we get the food. You get the food, and the same food you get, they go shoot your family because they get guns while you get food too. I want Figueroa to come and talk. Figueroa, come out to your hole and talk this afternoon because you said Irfan is better. You said Irfan is better. Irfan is good for Guyana. Irfan appointed Hicken. Hicken, to this day, cannot act the way he should, and I wonder why. It's on the Hicken. Where Lorimer from Linden was committed to jail. To be committed means you're supposed to go in a police van, in the truck, and you drive you straight to either well, you have to catch a boat to Mazruni. You go Camp Street or you go Lusiktan. You don't go left, you don't go right, you go straight to jail. That's what committal is. This boy Lorimer, Kevon Lorimer, was committed to prison. And as far as I'm aware, somewhere down the highway, his phone could ring. Or he could call whoever he has to call. And they must turn back and take him to the hospital. And for months he escaped. For weeks, you couldn't find him. Because Lorimer is too big to go to jail since he's Bharat Jagdeo's PR man in Linden. They found him the other day. And he's now in jail. But why must we have to, under the PPP, rage and carry on about why would a criminal not go to jail? Because that's what Bharat is about. That's what the PPP are about. You're about showing us, I told you all the PPP is conducting an in-your-face campaign. Where we do what we want, and you'll have to accept it. And with GCOM, the in-your-face campaign continues. We do what you want, and you have to accept it. And now we're seeing the results of the in-your-face politics of the PPP. Where they give anybody gun license, they do what you want. The owner of sheriff could be seen shooting up in the road when you had the AGR situation. He's not a police. He owns a security company. And he could be on the road shooting and Hicken can't arrest him. That's called terrorism if you don't know. But Hicken can't arrest Amir Ahmad. So if you see, some of you don't understand criminal minds, you know. In the US, because the crime rate is so high in many cases and other larger territories, they tell you this. That copycat crimes is the actual psychological thing. Where people would observe, well, if Irfan could get away with something, if Bharat could get away with Sue, if Dharmlal could get away with being accused of raping somebody, never spent a day in jail, never on remand, if Barry could get away with telling somebody strip her naked and slap her, if Critic could get away with injuring somebody or pulling a weapon out, and the police couldn't even take Critic's weapon from him, a sergeant in the police force couldn't take Critic's weapon, which he should have been done. He couldn't touch a Critic, push a man up, say, man, relax, buddy. A copycat criminal with a weak man would say, well, if they could do this, then I could do the same thing. That's actually the psychology of criminals, if y'all don't know. That's actually something in criminology. They study it. They study and say, well, this could be where people observe how others get off and think they could do the same thing. That's why some PPP supporters would boast and tell me, I go and lie down tomorrow for you because when I call Bharat, it's easy. Imagine the PPP could instruct the police not to take Lorimer to jail. I would to heaven that y'all hear me this afternoon. The same people who you saying, oh, they have thousands of supporters. Imagine that in Guyana, a magistrate could tell you you're going to jail for 9 months. And Barter, whatever this call, and say, no, you ain't going to jail. Leave him alone. And the police have to take you out of the truck that's supposed to carry you straight to jail. And you could go with your family. That's the PPP for y'all. So people would believe that they could shoot their woman and then go on the phone and call, hey, I just shoot this girl. I just shot her. He didn't rush. The cameras in the house showed us. He didn't rush to her aid. He didn't grab her. He didn't fall his knee and holler and say, my God, I killed my wife. Nothing. This one, the other one, whatever his name is, just stood there and got his phone call. Called somebody. Because that's what you do. You call somebody and say, I just did this. And the necessary channels would be explored for you to not face the penalty you should. I told you, Guyana, that our country is most corrupt at the highest level. Didn't I tell you that for years? Have I not been saying that to you for years, not for weeks? For years, since 2020. I said at the upper tier, the upper level of our society, this country is most corrupt. I've been saying that to y'all. Not the bottom man. But when the man at the bottom looks up and sees, well, all around me is corruption, I might as well do the same thing because I can get off. How could the police explain to me that for 3 months, 3 months ago, this fella discharged a weapon? He's supposed to never touch a firearm again because he discharged it with the intent to maim or kill. You don't shoot gun for no reason. Before you receive, and if the police tell me that the weapon is unlicensed, he's supposed to be in jail because you're not supposed to be walking the road. I saw no court matter with this fellow before the court for discharging an unlicensed firearm or possessing an unlicensed firearm, discharging with intent to maim or injure. And that, if you don't know, ask a fellow named Kroll from Linden. Papa Kroll, remember Brother Kroll? You remember Brother Kroll, what the judge sentenced him to life for? Y'all need to, when you see you discharge a weapon, and the court say you intended to maim, that's why they tell you it's better if you kill the person. Just understand me, please. They tell you, if you have a licensed firearm, you better off kill the person claiming self-defense or something. But if you only shoot somebody, and you injure them, Doc, you gone to jail for life because the judge can interpret it to mean that you intended to do them serious harm. It's a harsh penalty, I'm telling you what it is. Now here we are. Here we are, Guyanese brothers and sisters, dealing with this foolishness. And Hicken would cope, Billy wouldn't even talk to you. Hicken doesn't have to talk to anybody anymore. Imagine Hicken doesn't even have to come and explain to us why this fella was being investigated for discharging a firearm more than once. More than once. And he could still find another one to shoot somebody. Men, I implore y'all, protect your sisters, protect your female relatives. Because it's about survival. Until the 1st of September, protect them. When the PPP is gone, all these policemen will have to answer to us. You have to give account to us. Because we're not playing with y'all. I'll see you again shortly. We'll be live shortly. But this is not going down like that. This is not going down like this. Alright? This isn't going down like this. That boy is forever scarred. I would that the grace of Yahweh finds him, if it's Yahweh's will, and he be healed. Because that's the only thing that could heal him right now. Don't look in the camera. Alright? So, I'll see you soon. We will talk. We'll talk.